In the chilly afternoon of November 24th, 1971, an ordinary-looking man with an extraordinary plan stepped into the Portland International Airport. Dressed in a neatly pressed black suit, white shirt, narrow black tie, and carrying a briefcase, he bought a one-way ticket to Seattle on Northwest Orient Airlines, Flight 305. His name, according to the ticket, was Dan Cooper, though this would later be mistakenly reported as D.B. Cooper, a name that would become legendary. Flight 305 was a short 30-minute hop, but for Cooper, it was the stage for an audacious crime. Shortly after takeoff, as the plane cruised at 10,000 feet, Cooper calmly passed a note to a flight attendant, Florence Schaffner. Initially dismissing it as a flirtatious gesture, she pocketed the note without reading it. But Cooper, maintaining his cool demeanor, leaned in and quietly said, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." What happened next was a masterclass in criminal ingenuity. The note, written in neat block letters, demanded $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, 2 primary and 2 reserve, and a fuel truck standing by in Seattle to refuel the plane for a journey to Mexico City. Cooper's demands were specific, right down to the denomination of the bills. $20 notes totaling 10,000 bills, which would weigh approximately 21 pounds. The flight crew and passengers were unaware of the high-stakes drama unfolding just a few feet away. Cooper ordered the flight attendant to sit next to him, showing her the contents of his briefcase, a tangle of wires and red sticks, convincing enough to be a bomb. Schaffner relayed Cooper's demands to the cockpit, and the pilot, William Scott, promptly informed air traffic control. The FBI, in coordination with Northwest Orient, quickly mobilized to meet Cooper's demands, fearing for the lives of the 36 passengers on board. The plane circled Puget Sound for nearly 2 hours, giving authorities enough time to assemble the ransom money and parachutes. During this time, Cooper remained calm and polite, even offering to pay for his drinks, a bourbon and soda. He seemed unbothered by the tension around him, almost as if he was simply executing a well-rehearsed plan. Upon landing in Seattle, Cooper allowed the passengers and some of the crew to disembark in exchange for the money and parachutes. As the plane refueled, Cooper detailed his next set of instructions. He ordered the remaining crew to plot a course for Mexico City, flying at a low altitude of 10,000 feet and keeping the landing gear deployed. He also specified that the rear staircase of the Boeing 727 be lowered once they were airborne, a feature unique to this aircraft and crucial to his escape plan. With the ransom in hand and the plane back in the air, Cooper prepared for his daring exit. Somewhere over the dense, rain-soaked forests of southwestern Washington, in the pitch black of night, Cooper strapped the money to his body, secured a parachute, and, in an act of sheer boldness, jumped from the rear stairs into the abyss, disappearing into the night. The aftermath of Cooper's jump was nothing short of chaotic. The FBI launched one of the most extensive manhunts in U.S. history, scouring the vast wilderness below the flight path. They combed through forests, rivers, and mountains. Yet, despite their efforts, they found no trace of Cooper, no parachute, no body, no stash of cash. The only clue surfaced years later in 1980, when a young boy digging on the banks of the Columbia River discovered $5,800 in decaying $20 bills, identified as part of Cooper's ransom. Theories about Cooper's fate abound. Some believe he perished in the jump, unable to survive the freezing temperatures and rugged terrain. Others speculate that Cooper, perhaps a military veteran or an experienced skydiver, executed his plan flawlessly, disappearing into the wilderness and living out his days under a new identity. Despite hundreds of leads and numerous suspects over the years, the FBI officially closed the case in 2016, leaving Cooper's true identity and fate an enduring enigma. The story of D.B. Cooper remains a captivating tale of mystery, fueling imaginations, and spawning countless books, documentaries, and theories. His daring heist and flawless execution have cemented him as a legend in American folklore, a man who, against all odds, took to the skies with a fortune and vanished without a trace. Even now, over 50 years later, we are left to wonder, who was D.B. Cooper?